Okay, sorry I got interrupted. Hopefully I can just pick up where I left off and I'll send you both videos. So the Father Mike Schmitz video is 8 minutes long, I believe. And Lisa, if you are able to kind of talk, you can find something of your own if you want, or you could talk a little bit about just what Lent is about. I was thinking maybe you could use our liturgical calendar that we have for Catechesis of the Good Shepherd if you would want to show them that kind of as an aid to talk about the season of Lent. And then if you want to watch the Father Mike Schmitz video ahead of time, he just does a really good job of talking about prayer, fasting, and almsgiving and what that is, and kind of encourages the kids to choose something small in each of those areas for Lent. So that'll happen in the social hall, so we'll have the TV set up for that. While that's happening, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders will do their rotations. So they will have, Jackie will be in the crime room, in the Father Gilmet room, and there'll be 2 rotations going on at the same time in that room. On one side, we have a 10 Commandments board game. Jackie, I think you've seen this before. Barb used to do this, so I made a new one. It's all laminated and pretty. But basically, it's just a board game like this. There'll be a die. There'll be moving pieces. When they land on a question mark, they choose a card. The person to their left or something, I think the directions are on the front. The person on their left, I think, reads them a card, and then they have to identify which, either the number commandment, or they could say the commandment. And then I don't know, you'll have to read the rules. Then I think they can go again or something. So we'll have to look at the rules. But so yeah, so maybe I'll just send you a photo of this so you're familiar with the game. And I looked, and the cards are all kind of good for that age group, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. The other thing that Jackie will kind of be doing is I'm going to make sugar cookies, like in the shape of like the stone tablets. And then I have these are so cool, you guys. I have food decorating pens. And so I don't know how big I'll make the cookies. I was thinking they could just write like 1, 2, 3 on one cookie and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the other. Then I thought if I can get the cookies big enough, and because these are they're like fine tip markers, but with like safe food coloring. So maybe they could try. It'd be fun. So they'll do that. So I kind of figured Jackie could supervise both of those areas. Like the one side they're playing the game, the other side they're having their snack. And then Sharon will be in the church doing I Want to Walk as a Child of the Light, like we did before. So just singing that song with them. We're going to do 10-minute stations this time. So we'll rotate every 10 minutes. So it's a little quick for the board game, but I mean, they don't have to get all the way through it. So we'll do that. And then Deanna, I don't have you down for that time, so you could just help out wherever need be. I have you teaching at 7:05 doing the booklet stuff with the whole group, and that will be in the church, which I guess they won't be able to write. So we'll just do mostly discussion. So it starts on page 58, examination of conscience, and we'll just go through this. Then we talk about the act of contrition, and there's some discussion questions. And then we're actually going to go through the form of the sacrament of reconciliation. So the script, what those, it's a review for most of them, but the 2nd graders to start learning that because they have their reconciliation in a couple weeks. And then we have, 15 or 20 minutes for that. So I suppose you could bring pencils and they could start on the activity pages, however you guys want to do that. And then Deanna, I'm working on, I took pictures of all these pages so I could send it to you as a file. I'm going to try and do that. It might be a separate email because it might be tricky for me. All right, so while that is happening, back in the social hall, Lisa is now done with her 20-minute talk and showing the video on sacrifice, prayer, and almsgiving, kind of just like getting them ready to start Lent. Then they're going to do 5 minutes of prayer practice. They have prayer partners, and they can just, go with their prayer partner and practice the act of contrition. And then I usually give them a little break so they can go outside for like 10 minutes. Then they'll come back together at 7 o'clock again in the social hall and start working on their sacraments file folder. So this thing that we didn't get very far in. So I think most of them listed their sacraments of initiation last time. Most of them have not probably done the definition of a sacrament, an outward sign instituted by Christ to give grace. So I will have this example so you can have them kind of copy what I wrote for both of those and paste those on. And then last time we did not get to these bottom tabs. So there's the My Experience tab. So there's a worksheet and they will basically, they're just going to talk about a memory they have of a sacrament. So maybe it's their little sister's baptism, maybe it's when they received First Communion, something like that. So it just says, in pictures and words, describe a time that you have received or witnessed a sacrament. So they can draw a little picture, they can write something. They could even leave a space and then add a photo. That's what I was going to do. I was going to try and find one of my kids' baptisms or maybe even mine and put a photo in there. I thought that might be kind of fun. And then the next one, if we have time, and again, I have like 25 minutes allotted for this. There's 3 small groups, and I was hoping that each group could take a Bible and look up the scripture here that's on the lesson plan. So like basically the group A, Danny, Christopher, Isaac, and Gavin W., they would look at Matthew chapter 3 through 17, and then they would write something about baptism here. It just says, read one of the sacrament stories from the Bible and retell the story. So they would read it from the Bible, and then they would retell it in their own words here. And then these other groups would cover Eucharist and confirmation. So that's kind of what we're doing to talk about the 3 sacraments of initiation. So basically the goal is that they are more familiar with the fact that the sacraments of initiation are baptism, Eucharist, and confirmation. All right, I do have review game questions on here, but we usually don't get to that, and I haven't written any questions, so we'll maybe just cross that out. And then end with prayer. I thought Lisa could lead that. We've been working on the active contrition, so try and bring everyone back together at like 25 after 7 and end with a active contrition. And I think that is it. All right, thank you. Hopefully this works.